Morning, Chavrusa Daf listeners.
Probably put on some weight since the last one.
It's good to be back.
Okay, hi Yitzi. Okay, so the Mishnah continues to relate the order of the days Avodah, commencing with the slaughter of the Kohen Godel's bull. One Mem Gimel Amid Beis in Yoma. Shechatoi, the Kohen Gadol slaughters the bull. This is on Yom Kippur. V'kiba b'mizrak es dameh, and receives its blood in the receiving bowl. In this case, as in the slaughter of the Tamid offering, the Kohen Gadol does not complete the shechit himself, but gives it over to be completed by another Kohen Gadol to free himself to receive the blood. So I think he just starts the cut. B'noisen lemishu mimares al by al haroived haravi shebahechel, and gives the blood to the one who stirs it on the fourth row of paving stones in the heichel, in the sanctuary, kedei shelo yikresh, so that it will not congeal while the incense offering is brought. For blood that has congealed is not valid for the blood service of the Holy of the Holies, or for that of the heichel. The temple floor consisted of row upon row of marble paving blocks. The Gemara will explain that the Mishnah is not actually referring to the fourth row of stones inside the heichel, but to the fourth row in the azar, the courtyard, counting from the heichel. For discussion of why the stirring must be performed on this particular row, see Gvur's Ari Langer. Okay, Kadei Shelo Yikresh, right? We don't want it to congeal, so you got to keep stirring the blood. Natal Machta ve'ala l'roish hamizbech. So he's going to obtain the coals for now, the burning of the incense. The Kohen Gadol takes a shovel and ascends to the top of the mizbeach. Ufina gechalim elach ve'elach, and he clears the outer coals to this side and to that side. V'chayse min ha-me'ukalais hapnimius, and he scoops a shovelful from the consumed innermost coals. V'yared, and he descends. V'nicha al haroived haravi sheba azara, and he places the full shovel on the fourth row of the paving stones in the azara. So this is mandated in Torah's Kaihanim, which expounds in Vayikra, to teach that the coals used to burn the Yom Kippur incense must be glowing, but without visible flame. Right? There's a pasuk, it says, and he shall take a shovel of fiery coals from atop the altar. The word fiery teaches that they must be glowing with an intense fire. The word coals indicates that there must be no visible flame.
Okay, so like coal. When you do barbecue, there's usually no flame.
Yeah.
When you start it, there's the flame, and then 20 minutes later, it dies down, and that's when you put your hot dogs in.
Right, but once it has a fire, it's not a coal anymore. It's not considered to be a coal. Coal is
if it has the fire.
Yeah.
Oh, because fire starts.
Right.
And it dies down.
The Mishnah enumerates several differences between the Avodah of Yom Kippur and the daily Avodah, all pertaining to the incense offerings. Every day a Kohen would scoop up coals for the daily incense offering with a shovel made of silver and pour them into a shovel made of gold. But today, the Kohen Godel scoops them up with a shovel made of gold, and with it he brings them into the Holy of the Holies.
That's very interesting, right? Because we know in Yom Kippur, we don't wear gold. We don't want anything to remind Hashem of the Egel Hazav. The Kohen doesn't even wear, right? Isn't certain things he doesn't wear go into the Kodesh Hashem with the Shemayim Begadim because he doesn't want to wear the tzitz, which is made out of gold. Yet here he's taking the gold shovel.
And only the gold shovel. He doesn't touch the silver shovel in this case. Rashi says we don't want the Kohen Gadol to get exhausted from the extra effort of having to pour one shovel to the other shovel.
Okay.
Also, it's interesting because we have last names in Jewish families: silver, gold. Those aren't non-Jewish names. Those are Jewish names. Like if you hear someone named Silver, Gold, and these are.
What? Well, do you think it's because when they came to Ellis Island, they were like, "What do you do? I'm a goldsmith."
No, I don't think so. I could be wrong.
Like, why? Why do we get those names?
Oh,
like,
maybe because they dealt
Jewish
with money.
Names aren't like Brown, right? That's usually like football player jersey is Brown. Even though my in-laws, their name's Brown. What?
Yeah, he literally said, "There's that." It's like my in-laws.
No, my wife, when she was younger, her bus driver, his name was also Brown, and he's like, "Your name's Brown? That's not a Jewish name." He was laughing at my wife because her name was Brown. But you're right, there are definitely Jewish names of silver and gold, and don't know the origin of that.
But you see here, it's Mamash on Yom Kippur. So that
I
is
don't know any coppers, any coopers.
Cooper's. Yeah, copper. No. Okay, so continuing the Mishnah. B'chol yom, it's a long Mishnah. B'chol yom chayse b'shel arbas kabin. Every day a kohen scoops up the coals with a shovel of 4 kabin. Uma'ara l'shleishes kabin, and pours them into a shovel of 3 kabin. So that's where he's going from silver to gold.
Right.
What are kabin? Note 21. Which he carries into the Eichel and to use in the burning of the Ketores on the inner altar. 3 kabin is the required measurement of coals for the burning of the Ketores. The reason the first shovel must measure a full 4 kabin is to ensure that the shovel carried into the Heichel, measuring 3 kabin, will be filled to overflowing so as to give proper honor to heaven. So you see that? When you do things for HaKadosh Baruch Hu, you go all out. You go all out. Like in Shabbos, right? Just load them up. A kab is a measure of the volume equivalent to 24 eggs.
Okay.
So that's 72 eggs that you're bringing into the Kodesh HaKadoshim.
Yeah, you ever get like the Costco, instead of being 1 dozen, it's 2 dozen eggs?
Yeah.
So imagine that. That's much coal you're bringing in.
Straight to the Kodesh HaKadoshim. B'chol yoim hoisek kveda. Every day the shovel was heavy. B'hayoim kala. But today it is light. The Yom Kippur shovel is made of thinner material than usual. This too is intended to prevent the Kohen Gadol from becoming exhausted. He's not eating or drinking that day. Every day, it's a little poetic here in this part of the Mishnah. You know? You don't really get to see this in a Mishnah, but every day the handle was short, but today it was long, so that the Kohen Gadol, Zakrashi, can tuck the handle under his arm. His arm will thus bear a part of the shovel's weight so that his strength will not be sapped unduly. Every day it was of yellow gold, but today, when we say he's bringing a shovel of gold into the Kodesh HaKadoshim, it is of a red gold. Divrei Rabbi Menachem. These are the words of Rabbi Menachem. Red gold, Rabbi Yochanan Malunel says, was used because it was the most esteemed of the various sorts of gold. Taisus Yamtiv says because it's similar in color to the bull's blood that was brought into the Kodesh HaKadoshim. The fact that the Mishnah attributes this law to Reb Menachem seems to indicate that this is the subject of the dispute. This would explain why the Rambam, when giving characteristics of the shovel, does not write that it must be of red gold. Rush, however, does require the shovel to be this sort of gold, as does Rabbeinu Yerucham. Presumably, they hold that there is no disagreement, or that the Gemara's discussion of Reb Menachem's opinion proves that it is authoritative. I've also started, whenever I see a name in the Gemara, I opened up the introduction to the Talmud at home, and I just learn about their history. Learned all about Ula, even here, if you went to Menachem in Sefer, it would probably have who he was. Yeah. What generation of Meir he was, who was his.
All right, fans, I'm just going to take a little break here while Ellie listens to a Hatzalah call. I guess one of the things I wanted to bring up is, do you think red gold, do you think that's like today's rose gold? I don't know, because I just never heard of red gold before.
Yeah, me too. Okay. Weiter in the Mishnah. Every day a Kohen offers a pras of incense in the morning and a peras in the afternoon, which he burns in the heichel, says Rashi, upon the inner mizbeach. The word peras means half of a mana, which is a measurement equivalent to 100 silver dinars. So a half of a mana, he's bringing 50 silver dinars. So what is that, size or value?
No.
Oh, it's a measurement.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Is it a measurement?
Which is a measure equivalent to the weight. Oh, weight. Okay. So normally it's a peras. But today the Kohen Gadol adds another offering consisting of his 2 handsful of incense, which he burns in the Kodesh HaKadoshim. So there's more incense.
It's the pras plus 2 handfuls of incense. Handfuls
Oh. Mechal Yom Haisa Daka. Every day the incense was ground fine. Yom Daka min Hadaka. But today it is the finest of the fine. For the Keteris of the Kadesh Hakdashim offering is returned to the mortar on Yom Kippur Eve and ground to an even finer consistency than before.
Okay. Yes. Is it weird to say that I'm like, thank you Hashem that it's not Yom Kippur? Like I get Yom Kippur is a very special holy day. Like I'm kind of happy that I'm eating today. And, like,
If you're happy that Hashem made today exactly the way He made it.
Yeah.
You're happy.
Yeah.
If Hashem wanted to be Yom Kippur, then it would be, but it's not. So this is what Hashem wants. For the Keteros of the Holy of Holies offering is returned to the mortar on Yom Kippur Eve. Oh, this is all happening Yom Kippur night?
That's what it's saying.
Okay.
Well, that part. No, just the part where they make it thinner.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
Where they thin out.
The Mishnah enumerates some further differences between the Avodah of Yom Kippur and the regular daily Avodah. Every day, Kohanim ascend the altar on the eastern side of the ramp, the Yarden b'ma'arava, and descend on the western side. But today, the Kohen Godel ascends in the center of the ramp and descends in the center. Rabbi Yehuda Omer, the Kohen Godel always ascends in the center and descends in the center.
He's the KG.
Yeah, he's the KG. Every day the Kohen Gadol sanctifies his hand and feet from the kir, the laver. But today he does so from the golden flask.
Wow.
On this day, in honor of the Kohen Gadol, a special vessel was designated for his use. We'll see in the Gemara weiter. Rabbi Yehuda says, the Kohen Gadol always sanctifies his hands and feet from this golden flask, never from the kir. Okay, so Rabbi Yehuda is arguing on the Tanakama in both the where he ascends and descends the ramp on Yom Kippur, and then he always ascends in the center, but I guess they argue on every day, and then whether or not he used the golden flask all year or just on Yom Kippur. Every day there were 4 pyres there upon the altar. But today there are 5. What is a pyre? I don't know.
I think it's the pile of.
What's a pyre? Oh, light?
Ma'arachos.
Ma'arachos.
They do it at the Olympics.
Oh, nice.
Oh.
Divrei Reb Meir, and the person who translated it was Meir Yisrael. Shkoyach Harav. Rabbi Yossi Omer. Rabbi Yossi says, "B'chol Yom Shalosh." Every day there were 3 pyres. V'Yom Arba, but today there are 4. Rabbi Yehuda Omer. B'chol Yom Shtayim. V'Yom Shalosh. Every day there were 2, but today there are 3. So everyone holds that there was 1 extra on Yom Kippur. It all depends how many there were.
There were originally.
The Gemara will explain the purpose of each pyre as well as the dispute regarding the number.
That's so funny. On my son's Beis Hamikdash Lego set, I'm thinking about it right now. There was 2 fires on it, so they held like Rabbi Yehuda, and obviously it wasn't Yom Kippur.
So this is the Mishnah. We'll continue. We're on the bottom of Mem Gimel Amid Beis. The Gemara is going to talk about the Mishnah, a long Mishnah. It took about half of the Amid of Mem Gimel and Beis. Chavrusa Daf, Hashem to be continued. The Mishnah stated that the one who stirs the blood stands on the 4th row of stones in the sanctuary. The Gemara questions this. The Haksiv, it says in Leviticus 16:17, no person shall be in the tent of the meeting. You can't be in the oil moed. This pasuk prohibits occupation of the sanctuary during the burning of the incense in the Holy of the Holies. How then can the one who stirs the blood stand in the sanctuary while the Kohen Gadol burns the incense there? Right? How can the Kohen Gadol could be in the sanctuary, but is someone else going to be stirring? Gemara therefore amends the Mishnah. Amar Rabbi Yehuda Tnei Shel Heichel. Rather, learn the Mishnah thus on the 4th row of the sanctuary, the 4th row relative to the sanctuary from the outside.
Do we have a visual?
Yeah.
So it says the note. This is the 4th row of stones in the courtyard, counting from the Heichel. So you're not in the Heichel. Is this the Heichel? 48? Oh,
That's
I said
the
47.
antechamber, but that's the note addresses what you just said, but the Heichal is 50.
No, it's the Kodesh. Oh, the
Holy
Kodesh
Heichal.
is the Heichal. Okay.
So they're over here.
So
but only the
basically,
Kohen Gadol could be here.
So he's in 48. He's in the Ulam.
No, so I think it's the 12 steps, maybe. Because it says
47's here.
the following point must be raised: the antechamber lies between the Heichal and the temple courtyard. Oh, the temple courtyard. Hold on, let me see where that is. The temple courtyard is further away somewhere.
It's in the Chatzar. So where's the Chatzar here? Isn't the Chatzar here? Isn't this the Chatzar? I mean, he's all the way. Kohen's here. He's here. It seems unnecessarily far.
19 here, over here. This is the Israelite courtyard.
Counting from the Heichal. Fourth row of stones in the courtyard, counting from the Heichal. And we're saying the Heichal is this.
Oh no, here's the Ezra's Kehanim, 21, right over here.
Oh, okay.
But the Ulam is in between.
It is in between.
So the following point must be raised: the antechamber Ulam lies between the Heichal and the temple courtyard. Thus, one counting 4 rows from the Heichal will find himself not in the courtyard, but in the Ulam. How then can Rashi say that this row is 4 from the Heichal, but in the courtyard? Some explain that Rashi is referring to the antechamber as the sanctuary in accordance with the opinion of the Gemara below, which states that the two areas share a single sanctity. Thus, the blessed was stirred on the 4th row of the courtyard, counting from the antechamber. Alternatively, the blood is actually stirred in the Ulam, 4 rows from the sanctuary, in accordance with the opinion that distinguishes between the sanctity of the chamber and that of the sanctuary. When Rashi speaks of the 4 rows in the courtyard, he's referring to the antechamber as the courtyard.
Which would be here.
Right.
Or
like on this. Or.
It is there.
I think it's talking about the steps over here of the antechamber, or it's over here somewhere.
Right.
Shkoyach.
Yeah.